Hello everyone. So this is the project demo of the group F13. So our application is a continuous assessment platform. So this platform is a combined software application which aims to allow management and the process tracking of the software projects by professors, instructors, or TAs. We have integrated our tool with the three external applications, that is Slack, GitHub, and Taiga. On the basis of these three tools, changes and the commits done by students, we tracked how they have followed the agile methodology properly or not. So let's go into the demo of our application. If I, so this is our login screen where we have to enter a username and password. So after login, this is our home page where we have given user the option to select the codes which they want to see the whole details of this. After selecting this course, so we are coming on to the overall page. In this overall page, we can see that we are calculating the Slack frequency, Taiga frequency, as well as GitHub frequency, along with the impact for all these three applications. For the date selected, the default selected is the current week. So this is showing for the current mm, running current 7 days, and this is for the previous 7 days. So if I change the start date and end date, the graphs and the dates will accordingly change, and also the previous interval will accordingly change. Also, we have given two views, but one is the date view and another is the sprint view. In the sprint view, we can see according to the sprint. So the top graph is showing us for the sprint 5 and the bottom is showing for the sprint 4. Also for the tag application, we can see the average task total. So one thing I forgot to show, like these all graphs are for that, but for the selected course. So we have three parts. One is the course level, one is the team level, and one is the student level. So if a student log in by his or her credentials, so he will be able to see the graphs only for that course level, for his or her team, and for him only in the student. So he or she cannot see the details and the other matrices for another student in his team or in their course. So this Taiga shows the Taiga data, which is it's showing according to the date, according to the dates, and these are the average task for the whole day. And these are the more details for the task for 26 April. And this is the graph which is showing how many graph and how the graph changes for the whole period. So coming on to the GitHub, we are showing how much commits they have done. This is the We have a formula to calculate the average weight, which are calculating for every day. So this graph will change accordingly. And here we have selected a default branch and the other branch also. So for the default branch in GitHub, we have an option to put any branch as a default branch. So we are checking for any group which is the default branch and which is the non which all other are the non-default branches. So we are keeping those in the other branches. When we change the default, the accordingly change. This is for the Slack for this is the message count, how the messages changes, as there are not much messages in this, so our graphs are not getting populated. So coming on to team, if I select any team, suppose I am selecting this one. So these this will now show the graphs for the team as well as for the course. So this team has not made any change. So the impact, Taiga impact, and the other impacts are zero for this team. So if I change the data, if I change the date, so accordingly we will see the course graph as well as for the team graph. So these two matrices are used to compare side by side. The teams can compare their data with the whole course data. This is same for the Taiga as well as, so for the team, we have included a cumulative flow diagram also. So if I select a sprint 2, so this will show the cumulative flow diagram as well as the burn down chart for that team. Coming on to the GitHub, this will show the GitHub commits for that team. So suppose, yeah, so here we are fetching all the current branches that are open in the GitHub. So this team has only three branches. One is main, other is the two branches. So this will show all the detail accordingly. If I go to the main, so this will all the graphs and which students has committed how many lines of code. So this will show accordingly. Coming on to the student, if I select any student, suppose I select this one. So yeah, all the graphs will populate accordingly. And here we can compare the course as well as their team as well as the students data. Same for Taiga. Taiga, we can say we can see the all the details and change the select start date and end date accordingly. If I change the start date, so if I change the student name, we can see the whole details differently, how they have done everything and according to the sprint. So coming on to some other features, so we have this icon about CA. We have a documentation what our continuous assessment platform is doing. This we have mentioned about this project and much more details about these data. So, and this profile section. So we have added this profile section also. It will show all the details related to that student. Suppose this is a student. So he is enrolled in the course SCR 517 and this is his GitHub and Taiga as well as the Slack. For GitHub, we have seen like some students are using two GitHub names. And when they are pushing code to to the GitHub, so sometimes unknowingly they push by their another user ID. So we have given a feature so that we have given a feature to add a GitHub alias. Suppose I add test, it will check whether this GitHub name exists or not. If it exists, then it will add accordingly. So now what our application is will be doing for from the next time, it will checking the commits for their primary username as well as the alias that has been added to alias that been added to that primary username, and then it will fetch all the commits for both the usernames. So coming on to the metrics guide, these are some of the metrics that we are referring. So we have given a guide for all these matrices, and people can go and read all these things and understand how we are calculating different things. So coming on to the agile admin tool. So for this application, we are running some backend jobs that needs to be that are fetching data from the Taiga, GitHub, and the Slack. So these are some of the APIs that we can do. Suppose if a user want to fetch all the data right now. So one thing is we have scheduled the APIs, and the another is if he wants to fetch the latest data, so they can accordingly update the data. So this will take some time because there is a lot of data from the GitHub, Taiga, and everything. It also depends, the time also depends on the number of students, number of different groups and everything, and number of courses also. Apart from this, we have given this application where a teacher or admin can provision new course. So here we have implemented the thing. Suppose you want to import directly your course from the canvas rather than uploading a CSV. So here we can enter the canvas token. This canvas token can be fetched from the from the canvas setting button, and after the canvas token is validated, this will fetch the data. This will fetch the data accordingly, and it will fetch your courses. After selecting courses, you can select the groups which you want to integrate, and accordingly there will be some details that will be fetched automatically from the canvas, and some details you need to edit in this. And yeah, so then if you save this, and all the data will be saved into our application backend. So apart from this, we have another option where you can edit the existing course. I can't click on this because there are some of the details that will be shown to the user. So yeah, so here we have two courses. If I go to course detail, team details, and student details, if I click on anything, so there will be some of the details that will be revealed. So I don't want to do that. So these are the two provisioning features that we are given. Another is the change password. Suppose if a student want to change their password due to some things or some issues, so they can change their password. And the last one feature is the logout, where will be logged out from that applications. So that is the demo or application. Thank you, everyone.